Okay, YouTube. Tonight's message is going to be a EMF reader as well as some tarot cards pulled. This is going to be a specific message, so it's not going to be um, for everyone who watches this video. But I don't have any zodiac sign indications through this message, so this is going to be considered an all sign read. Again, if you watch tarot, you know the rules. Don't take this information and force it to your situation. If it doesn't fit, then you need to just leave it behind. If it sounds like it might resonate for someone else, go on ahead and take this message and pass it along to them. Otherwise, you'll use this as just a guide for something that is unseen for you. So I'm going to start off with reading the messages that have come through. If you're interested in EMF messages for yourself, you can go on ahead and download an EMF Reader. It will take a couple weeks of you just having it on and going for you to actually build a relationship with it. And then what you'll do is take the words that it gives you and Google the definitions to those words to build the message that is coming through. So tonight's EMF Reader decided to continue its message from the first original message that I received. So it's slightly long. And all right. So it says, in a series, a bedroom had a married man in it that holds evidence or information that can help solve a problem or mystery. A set of written words on a blank page indicate movement towards a destination. A person named Brian, who leads and commands a group or organization, was told to go to a destination in nature, an empty area, to respond, to give the go ahead by touching their mouth. Morally right, a device with moving parts that performs a task was left to help relieve mental, emotional, or physical strain, was situated below a normal level and lacked in strength. To me, that makes me feel like it. What would you take out into nature that would do that? That to me, it would be a bike or some type of mobility device. It says money in the form of bills or coins needs to be analyzed or inspected closely. So somebody could be using fake money to pay for this arrangement. It says a cunning or deceitful act was taken and meant either to be a success or a failure brought by chance. So, they didn't know whether or not this was going to turn out in their favor, but they're chancing it, right? Something was looked at and evaluated closely about the ability to enter or use something through the element of a person's mind of an adult male. So again, they're an element that tells me that it would be a chemical or a substance of some sort. An injury involving a break in the skin was to see if they had the power to affect someone's behavior or thoughts and can tell by the look of their eyes. So whoever they're asking to complete this event, they probably tested them by, getting a physical fight to see if they would break and start talking. Um, a person qualified to practice medicine can do things to have an effect or influence of one thing or another on someone. So they could be in cahoots with a nurse or caregiver, a doctor, that can provide them this chemical or this substance or this pill. Says money owed to someone was communicated, some information to someone to affect their influence on a certain thing or someone. So again, that tells me that they went to this person and told them that they were owed money by this person and this is what they needed to be done so that they didn't intervene on a certain situation. It says a machine that has parts to perform actions or tasks is very quiet. It's being used in the process of doing something to achieve a result due to the cause or explanation of the possibility of something happening. Again, that makes me feel like, if I was to look around my house, that would make me feel like it's an air conditioner to put this substance through. So, because they know that somebody's obviously not going to be willing to take it. So they got to figure out how to at least get it into the environment to breathe or into their system. The exchange of goods or services was suggested to someone that was in a state of being unhappy when they often attempted to do something. Guidance or recommendations was given about a building used for human living because the person there was about to be deceased. The physical world and its phenomena, ... is a person whom has a bond of mutual affection. So physical world and its phenomena, like in the physical world, right? This person is appearing to be okay, appearing to be friendly or family or some sort of a support to this person, portraying to have this mutual affection for them, but in reality, in their mind, they're thinking opposite. Says the feeling of uncertainty for someone with brown hair has a very small brain and has a beneficial factor or feature. That's an advantage. A female sibling feels sorrow and unhappiness for this mom who is in a vertical structure that encloses or divides spaces for others. This is one who declares to cause harm. The external part of them shows that they are worried about something or that is something that is not good and undesirable, not under the control or in the power of another, doesn't come without cost. An intense feeling of deep affection for someone who has the power to affect someone's behavior or thoughts. So it sounds to me like somebody is contemplating their feelings for somebody else, but can't because at the moment they're under the thumb or the power of their current partner. A special day of celebration recently going a special day of celebration. Someone is going through the condition of being alive and used as a way of earning money. So again, someone feels like they're just living and working. They're not happy. They don't feel like they're fulfilling any type of life. A legally or formally recognized union of two people as partners in a relationship experience an emotional or physical sensation, feeling hot in high temperature and lacking strength or power. So there's a couple here that is being energetically broken down. A young human being that has a hard, shiny material that conducts heat or electricity. Someone is needing to look at carefully for a particular case or example of someone or something that it shows. There's a gathering of people for discussion or decision making. They spoke about striking someone in the stomach with force as a punishment for breaking the law or rule of something that is large in distance from end to end. Um, to me, that could be a vehicle. That could be a house. That could be a family agreement. Um, to employ something for a purpose, to speak or shout to get someone's attention, to contact by phone. There's a strange and unusual reason why they're residing somewhere. The day before yesterday. The hard material from trees used for building or fuel had failed to hit or to catch and to feel the absence of someone or something. So somebody is around a lot of wood, trees, and that type of environment was set up to take somebody out, but it failed. To conceal oneself or something from the view was cut down. This gave a feel of one being on fire to someone. So this pissed someone off. A method of making a path was done by someone to help give courage to another person for doing something challenging. Someone thought it was to help exert force when striking someone from striking one to the other based on someone's effect or influence. So that makes me feel like the person who came and made the pathway to help the other person even be out there, there was like a third party that felt that they were doing it because they were there to cause this blunt force trauma or this strike. To talk about a topic in detail while coming in contact with something, the lowest part of the body, on a piece of furniture for sleeping, a person with religious advantage on a female parent. This person who shares in a relationship activity needs to find an answer or solution to something they want to know why something was done. So that makes me feel that a female parent slept or did a sexual act on someone to coerce them to do this investigation to find these details. They interpret written words to someone or about someone who has a serious disagreement with something, wanted to direct their eyes towards something and to take it without permission, to help assist or aid someone that is in opposition to the person they have a deep affection or attraction to. So they wanted this person to take something without permission, right? That would be either to kill them, rape them, um, completely fuck their mind off, and it's to take it from the person they have a deep affection or attraction to, right? That would mean you're coercing someone to take someone's partner. They call them baby and is doing something to fail, to keep, or to maintain, and is depriving them of leading to the exchange of goods for services. So this person is possibly making it difficult for this person to leave the house, for this person to maintain bills, for this person to get a job. That would be the exchange of goods for services. Okay, so the second one is help by doing the share of the work to help no longer be alive. This is of considerable importance and seriousness. Put or keep out of sight, conceal from view or notice of others, referring to the person that the speaker is addressing, is in need of sleep and rest, and has a feeling of uncertainty about extending far down from the top of the surface. So, there's somebody here who has to have the ability to keep the person who's going to strike out of view, right? And has to have the strength and ability to help put this person pretty far down. So I'm going to assume like maybe they were up on a ledge or a hill. But because the amount of tiredness this person was, they didn't have the strength or the mental ability to think the plan all the way through as it's happening. So they hesitated. A unit of time that corresponds with the phases of the moon, so this would be spell work, says something in order to obtain an answer or information. So they could have planned for this event to happen on a certain day where a certain moon cycle was going to be happening. To take part in a violent struggle involving the exchange of physical blows or use of weapons. This act is considered help with payment of money. So they are getting reimbursed with money to make this happen. They then told this person to practice by pursuing and killing a wild animal. So they want this person to practice chasing and predatory behavior. So hiding and being quiet with your movements, chasing, and then killing. During a certain moon phase, they will have someone investigate or pry into something so they can have something to inform someone or the police. They want to assign them as responsible for a fault or wrongdoing. So they're going to frame somebody for being the one that did this. Success or failure apparently brought by chance rather than one's own actions. The highest temperature of a period of 7 days is bringing by someone who needs help and is assisting someone in exchange for cash. To begin from a certain point is giving assistance to someone so they enable to function or act in a killing by trying or tying rope around the neck and removing the support from beneath. So hanging somebody. A young person whom someone is having a romantic relationship with was getting bothered and annoyed, came to a resolution in their mind as a result of consideration. A time of day was specified to move or cause to move in a specific direction. They had a sense of confidence in or satisfaction in this arrangement. To harass or worry someone and getting help with the physical suffering. So this person probably told them that they were going to go a certain route so that whoever was going to be assisting them had access. A competitor or opponent is experiencing negative emotions, want to take part in a violent struggle that is covered with grass and trees. The omission of unexpected or required action is going to cause permanent brain damage. So this person who is looking to set up somebody thinks that they're going to have the advantage because the other person doesn't know, and because spirit is helping this person and watching over this person, the one that is going to be doing the attacking is going to be the one that ends up with brain damage. They want a photo taken as evidence of the desired outcome. The one that used their middle finger as an obscene gesture and stays in the northern region, this person told the speaker who is addressing the focus be between the chest and the pelvis. So the person who's wanting to do this is wanting the attack to go straight towards the head. The people that they are talking to about getting this done are suggesting more of the chest and the stomach area. Two individuals who are romantically associated are helping with this by providing money to afford the influence needed to affect one's mental state with something. Someone with a raspy voice from yelling hears this and finds it interesting and why they perceive the person this way. They do not agree and suggest they go get help and support from the county. This is the cause of a set of conditions not being taken care of. The female with the raspy voice tells them it's because of depression. The one who is requesting the harmful act describes having strong conviction and belief for their concept. The raspy voice female asks her to go get help and wait on the act until winter. So I would say that this person is hoping that they will no longer perceive them this way and want to do that act after receiving help, right? So drawing the tarot cards on this, here we have a male, okay, who feels that they're in a dictator role, is using sex magic, okay, to affect the mentality and emotional state of somebody. There are 5 people who are aware of what is happening and what is being planned to harm this female. But there's somebody who is putting a wrench in the plans right now. A card with angel number 1313 says starting fresh, step out of your comfort zone and begin creating. So the person they're attacking could be in a manifestation cycle, and if they work on their thoughts, right, they could possibly manifest themselves out of this situation, out of this attack actually occurring. Says you're tired of being the prey for men who don't want commitments. They just want the money and the sex. And this could be why it's being done to you. Somebody could have propositioned you and you said no. Says everything you go through is for a reason. What's the lesson? What did you learn? And what will you do differently next time? And then we have just stop. No one lives in your head and feels your emotions or your thoughts. Stop caring about what they think and live your life. You're not hurting anyone. So this is confirmation for you that you could be somebody who gets put in these positions constantly. You might even be feeling like maybe you do deserve to just be taken out, and Spirit is telling you no. Okay. And this says, as long as we keep checking in with each other and continue to be on the same page, I know we'll be all right. So the couple that is working together, the one who cleared the path for the other, they're clearly helping keep each other alive and safe. So it says fear itself. These people are putting this act together because of their own fears. One of the people who are involved could be having really nasty bowel movements that have a stench to them that no one's ever smelled before. Religiously or spiritually, this would be the demonic starting to take over the insides of this person. This says a lifetime of sadness. So again, one of these players is somebody that has not been able to achieve the escape of their own sadness. Haven't figured out they're the ones that can only do that. For here we have angels that came out, forgiveness, and finances. So this is letting you know that there are angels that are protecting you in this situation that is being planned. They're going to need you to forgive the people that are involved in this situation, okay? And finances that are being spent to fund this situation, when this cycle is all said and done, it will all come back to the people that they're attacking. Here we have messenger of bad news. This man is an unfaithful assistant or employee. He will come by and take what he can get, and sometimes he takes more than what he is allowed. These pop-up challenges and unseen situations are now ending. Their cycles are nearing completion, and it's time to relax and reflect on what you learned in this cycle, okay? but you have to finish this last one, this last attack. It says change of plans that will result in emotional pain and broken heart. Um, this is a card of bad action, cancellation of feelings, misunderstandings, breakups, and divorces. It says an excuse of a person. This person playing this energy to avoid consequences, to get out of following suit, but continues to run from any situation, is going to be poorly covered when they commit these actions. And then it says, Two of Hearts beat as one. You and this person are in complete alignment and fully in love. So, again, the person helping you, you can trust them. It's safe. Here, these cards say supportive, loyal, they've got it, you guys got it. You have made it through the cycle of challenges and poor communication. You need to remember what you've learned and don't revert backwards with this person. And you both could be getting restless for a change. So, for the spirits that are being used, we have Foros, which is teaches logic, ethics, and value, and herbs and stones can make one invisible, helps one to be intelligent and long-lived, and can recover lost items and treasure. So you're being protected by the strength of Foros. So even though spirit knows that you're exhausted and you're tired, it's like you have a third and a fourth wind kicking in to help you get done what needs to be done. That spirit also cloaks you with invisibility. So if you're somewhere at the wrong place and wrong time, um, there will be things that will happen that you don't get looked at for because obviously you're being protected. We have Furkos, and it says teaches philosophy, astrology, rhetoric, logic, palm reading, and divination in fire. So you're at the point right now where you're literally walking through the fire, and people are waiting to see if you're going to make it out alive. Then we have Sabnak. It says builds high towers, castles, and cities, afflicts men for many days with wounds full of rot and maggot. So Sabnak is here because any person that is going to conjure things up or create scenarios or cause any type of harm, they are automatically going to be put in a situation where their insides are going to rot for the evil doings. For the energy cards, I typically read the definitions, but when I see this, my interpretation is first, you're somebody who is going to be protected for infinity, okay? It doesn't matter what you do, there is some presence in you or um, some job that you've been given or some type of DNA within you that is giving you this infinite protection, right? And then here you're trying to spread your light, share your light, and with your partner you're you're tetherly tied, right? And because you're infinitely protected, they're infinitely protected. And then here it's showing that this light is being shared with them. So you're trying to enlighten them at the same time. I'm going to go on ahead and go to the definitions though for infinity. It says, this is about balance. There's no end without the beginning, and there's no creation without chaos. It says, you provide balance to the situation and throw things out of balance that don't belong. Are you getting this are you getting this back? It says, if you feel imbalanced with the focus upon the situation, then your intuition is telling you it is not right. Reassess and look again. We have Kether. Mm-mm-mm-mm. What the heck? Okay, so Kether says, you're being told that the divine is always present and ready to aid you when you need the help. It says you need to pay attention and be present. The key here is to distance yourself from the situation that is causing chaos in order to see beyond it. And then we have Halil. And two that are not on the list came out. That's crazy. No way. There we go. Okay. It says, based solely on the energies of the physical realm, which leads to the self-reflection. Is there a betterment of self? You find it in others. It says you must work with the physical level to resolve the issue. Halil is all and the nothing, the infinite. It says, so it is also appropriate to reference messages contained in the corresponding card as well, which is the infinite here. So again, divine is guiding you through this entire thing, okay? And then we have the ancestor cards. Oh, one of these was judgment. So you have judgment, and then you have the support, loyalty, they got it, you got it, and restlessness. So they are under judgment right now, and they will receive their karma. No matter how far they go with it, karma is going to be handed to them just because they thought of putting it together and started the recruitment of it. Here we have spirit is using your body, okay, to complete a purpose. He is going to provide a hidden location for you, and because you are the embodiment of the act of love, and you continue to stay as is with yourself, he is promising you peace after this cycle here. So you probably have been put through the trenches, the worst of the worst, passing these lessons. And so because you've stayed loyal, you continue to pass them, and you're following the direction. So like I said, it's very important, like the angels told you, forgiveness. That's going to be one of the biggest hurdles that you're going to have to work on at the end of this cycle, is being able to forgive everybody who has put the thought of harming you, or put the action of harming you into forward movement, simply because the divine is doing things on purpose to test your strength and loyalty. So you have to go through the hardest times that most people don't experience. And unfortunately, in order for him to do that, he has to work through people. And the greatest hurt comes from people closest to you. So the divine is going to use those closest to you to give you the greatest hurt you can feel, to study your reaction, your movements, and how you handle it. And if you can handle it gracefully, stoically, and without making the problem worse, and still have loyalty with no question, obviously he promises that you make it out alive and unscathed. So it's about studying what's in the head and the heart, and your routine to stay safe and protected. Okay. If you have any further questions or want a more personalized reading on this or anything else you're going through, you can reach out to me. My email is in the description box, and they are free, so you should just take advantage of that. And otherwise, check out my other videos, and don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe.